Darius Kane had never been a man who cared for companionship. He lived in a cluttered apartment stacked with half-finished mechanical projects, old Starship manuals, and a dozen monitors glowing with code. He had left Earth 5 years ago for the outer colonies, chasing contracts as a freelance systems engineer. The work was good, the money steady, but the loneliness gnawed at him. On a humid evening in the orbital bazaar above Lyris 4, he wandered into a narrow shop tucked between vendors selling spice tubes and mechanical limbs. A glowing sign buzzed. Smart Pets, companions for every mood. Inside, sleek display pods showcase holographic advertisements of robotic cats, talking birds, and miniature dragon lizards. The shopkeeper, a wiry old man with 3 lenses strapped over one eye, approached him, looking for company. Traveler, our Smart Pets learn, adapt, and never leave your side. A true friend for the lonely. Darius hesitated. He wasn't the type to buy a toy. But then his eyes fell on a dark pod at the corner, dustier than the rest. A glowing emblem pulsed faintly on it. That one, he said. The shopkeeper frowned. Old model. Unreliable. But if you want it, half price. Darius smirked. Half price was still a chunk of credits, but curiosity won. He swiped his chip, and the pod was delivered to his quarters the next morning. When he opened it, instead of a mechanical lizard or drone, something unexpected spilled onto his floor. A pale, trembling figure with soft skin, silver hair, and wide violet eyes. She wasn't a pet. She was humanoid, fragile-looking and unmistakably alive. She blinked at him and whispered, voice cracking, "Please, don't put me back." Middle, learning to care. For the next week, Darius's life turned upside down. The girl introduced herself haltingly as Lyra. She wasn't a machine, at least not fully. She was a hybrid creation, part biological, part synthetic, designed by a forgotten alien corporation that had once sold living companions disguised as pets. When that line of Smart Pets was banned, the remaining units had been smuggled across black markets, sold to unsuspecting buyers. "You mean I bought a person?" Darius muttered, staring at her. Lyra tilted her head, ears twitching ever so slightly. "Not person, not pet, something between. But I can learn. I can stay useful." She tried to cook him meals, burning half of them. She followed him around his workshop, clumsily holding tools. She hummed strange lullabies at night, curling up near the door like a small guard animal. Darius tried to treat her like a machine at first, giving simple instructions. But Lyra asked questions, endless questions. Why is the sky different on each planet? Why do humans hide their sadness when they're alone? Why did you buy me? That last question silenced him. He wasn't sure. Maybe because he was tired of silence. Maybe because some part of him had hope for something extraordinary. But caring for her wasn't easy. Lyra required food, water, and rest, though she could also recharge by absorbing ambient energy. She sometimes shut down, trembling, as her systems glitched. Darius had to reprogram her stabilization codes, holding her hand while she convulsed. One night, while he tightened a wire near her collarbone, she looked up at him with shining eyes. "Most owners just return us when we break," she whispered. "Why don't you?" "Because I don't throw away what's worth fixing," Darius replied. She smiled faintly, a smile that lodged deep in his chest. Rising tension, the threat, but soon, whispers spread in the bazaar. Someone had seen Darius with a strange girl who didn't eat at the markets or breathe, quite like a human. Word reached ears it shouldn't have. The enforcers hired thugs working for consortium that once manufactured Lyra's kind. One evening, as Darius returned from a contract repairing shuttle NAV systems, his apartment door slid open to reveal chaos. His workbench overturned. The walls scorched. Lyra gone. A message blinked on his screen. Return stolen property. Or face termination. Fury unlike anything he'd felt before surged through him. Lyra wasn't property. She had cried, laughed, asked questions like a child. She mattered. Darius strapped on his old plasma pistol and tracked the signal from the message. It led to a derelict cargo station orbiting Lyris 4. Inside, he found rows of pods, dozens of them, filled with unconscious figures like Lyra. The forgotten pets, all abandoned. Scientists in cold uniforms checked their vitals, planning to dismantle them for parts. And there, restrained by glowing cuffs, was Lyra. When she saw him, her eyes widened in shock. "You came?" Before the guards could react, Darius fired. Sparks flew, panels shattered. He fought his way through the station with desperate determination. Lyra, still restrained, screamed warnings as an enforcer aimed at his back. He dove, taking a blast to his shoulder, gritting through the pain, and managed to disable the restraints. Lyra collapsed into his arms, trembling. "You're hurt," she whispered. "Doesn't matter. We're leaving." Together, they stumbled through smoke and alarms, releasing other pods along the way. Dozens of her kind, half alien, half machine, blinked awake for the first time in years. Confused but alive. Climax, the escape. The consortium commander appeared before them at the docking bay, flanked by armored guards. "You don't understand human," he sneered. "These creatures are not people. They are assets. Do you think you can save one pet and all the rest? They'll never belong." Darius tightened his grip on Lyra's hand. "If they're not people, why do they look at me like she does? Why do they laugh, cry, ask questions? Sounds human enough to me." The commander raised his rifle. But before he could fire, the freed hybrids, dozens of them, rose behind Darius, their glowing eyes fixed on their captors. With synchronized voices, they let out a piercing harmonic wave that shattered glass and disabled the guard suits. Lyra whispered, "We remember now. We were meant to survive together." Seizing the moment, Darius dragged Lyra aboard a shuttle. The others followed, filling every seat. As engines roared, the station crumbled under the weight of chaos. The shuttle tore free into the black void of space, ending a new beginning. Days later, Darius's shoulder was patched, though he still winced from a wound. The shuttle drifted toward an uninhabited moon, where the hybrids could be safe. Lyra sat beside him, silent for a long while. Finally, she spoke. "You didn't just save me. You saved all of us." Darius gave a tired smile. "Guess I didn't buy a pet after all. Guess I found a family." Lyra leaned against him, her warmth surprisingly human. "Then let us be that. Let us learn together." For the first time in years, Darius didn't feel alone. He looked out the stars, endless, uncertain, but no longer empty, because he had something, someone worth protecting. And in the hold of the shuttle, dozens of violet eyes glowed with the hope of a future that no one had dared imagine.